long as we don't say anything too naughty, we should be fine. We're just testing microphones here, making sure people can hear us.
Test, test, test. I'm not pressing
All
anything.
right. Maybe after pressing it, just move it off. Just make sure.
Got it.
Yeah. Okay. That's something we gotta fix.
Should that work now?
Yeah, they're both unmuted. Yeah, both channels are unmuted now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Your last name, it's pronounced Sager?
Correct.
Okay, like Craig Sager. All right.
Yep. No relation.
Okay, I wasn't going to presume a relation, but thank you for clarifying before I asked the question. Here's another song that gets played a little too frequently for my liking.
Should I mute this now?
Uh,
We're good,
yeah,
right?
our levels are coming in just fine. So if they can't hear us, I don't know what's going on their end. Oh, well, that's a lot of good. That. Okay, hurrah. Well, A pleasant welcome to Marine Hendricks Field from the Germantown Soccerplex. Hello again, I'm Max Walpov, joined tonight by Josh Sager. Josh, the NISA Independent Cup is in full swing with first round action. This is a cup all about opportunity, and tonight a bunch of young players for both squads are going to have their chance to get here first team experience.
Yeah, wipe the slate clean. This is going to be a very, very interesting tournament. And it starts off with a good one tonight as the Bobcats take on Alloy SC, a team that's just looking to give a name for themselves here in this tournament. Not one of the bigger names here in NISA, but they're looking to maybe prove a point against Maryland tonight.
Alloy coming in for a part of Big Picture Soccer. They finished their first season in the UPSL, winning the Delaware River Conference through the early circuits. So let's go through the starting lineups for tonight. In goal for Alloy USC will be Jack Gabler, number 0. He'll be the one tasked with stopping a potent MBFC attack. Dominic Francis, Iben Bongwelli, and Micah Hostetter are the listed defenders. Aiden O'Sullivan, Derek Ramirez, Frederick Opoku, Luke Nall, and Josiah Ramirez make up a packed midfield. And Ryan Butler and Kedrick Yoder are at the front for Alloy SC. Worthy of note for Ryan Butler, he was the team's top goal scorer last season with 12. And don't get too shot on Josiah Ramirez, he had 9 assists last season. For the Maryland Bobcats, Youssef Momban will be the one between the pipes today. He'll be helped out by a deep back line of Nicholas Blake, Cameron McDonald, Joshua Morgan, Eric Moreno, and Philip Burnett wearing the captain's armband. Dauda Ali and Alexis Bernard have midfield duties, along with a front 3 of Caleb Pritchett, Omar Sanderson, and Fude Dombaya. Teams are just getting set from their first team huddles. Head coach for the Maryland Bobcats is Alex Cow. He is in his second season. And for Alloy SC tonight, this is a very interesting note. We got a chat with Alloy SC prior to today's game. This is going to be the first game at the helm for head coach Thomas Tamale of Uganda.
This is a very interesting way to make your debut. I mean, this is also a guy who has coached professionally in Pennsylvania ranks, so this could be a very good fit for this Alloy team.
It could indeed be. This is going to be a fun night. It's going to be an interesting night. It is a hot one, though. How might the heat play a factor in tonight's contest?
I mean, players are going to probably get a bit more tired tonight, and you could possibly see maybe a bit more carry on any sort of ball that's kicked pretty far on a cross or on a corner. So we could see a lot of airtime with the ball tonight.
Alloy SC won the toss, so they will take the ball first. Ryan Butler, the one standing over it. Butler spent his college career at Ursinus College from 2012 to 2015. He is also an assistant coach at Franklin and Marshall College. So, our referees today, Ryan Myers will be in the field, Zach Kalemke and Angelo Petrucci will have the lines, and Rosalino Rojas is our fourth official. The ball is rolling. Let's have some fun from Marine Hendricks Field tonight. Thank you again for making us part of your 4th of July weekend celebrations. It looks to be Alloy has moved into a back 4 formation with potential help from the midfield. They'll move into the midfield now. Pass nearly cut off, able to reach its intended target. Aiden O'Sullivan, the one pushing pace. He's helped by Opoku.
You gotta love the ball movement so far this early, actually, for Alloy. They're definitely catching these Maryland defenders off guard a bit.
That's Kedrick Yoder, the one putting the ball into the air. And mishandled by Dominic Francis, and he'll just put it out of play for a throw-in. Dominic Francis, around the Maryland Bobcats facility today, we saw people wearing Harrisburg Heat jerseys. That is probably for him. He spent a lengthy career with the Harrisburg Heat, 104 games and 86 goals for the Major Arena Soccer League team. First test of the back line for Eric Moreno, concedes the throw-in. As Maryland able to reset themselves.
You mentioned 186 goals, you said?
No, 86 goals in 104 games.
Those are still video game numbers. I mean,
it's still incredible.
You're not going to see maybe those kind of numbers here in this kind of league, but you could. But I mean, look, anything's possible.
Yes, anything is possible. And if I had wheels, I'd be a wagon. Luke Nall punches through 2 defenders. O'Sullivan back for Opoku. Opoku may be familiar to Bobcats fans who watched last season. He was part of Flower City Union's team. did not feature in the playoffs, of which Flower City Union won the NISA championship. Now he tried to time a run toward the back line, and pass ended up going short for O'Sullivan. This one running long toward the corner flag and escorted out of play by Joshua Morgan. It is going to be a long list of people from this roster tonight who have not had first team experience with the Maryland Bobcats. Burnett and Pritchett really are the only ones that have had senior team experience, much of it coming last season for both of them.
Again, we mentioned at the top of the broadcast today that the majority of this team is not the guys you would normally see for this Maryland team. It's a fresh start for the majority of this for this tournament.
And it's an 8-game winning streak for Maryland Bobcats in NISA action, but that winning streak will continue as a tackle here gets all ball. Maryland gets their first real bit of possession throughout this game, and they'll play out of their back line.
Yeah, you've got to like the fact for Alloy that they have just been controlling this game for the first 2.5 minutes for this.
Yes, they have, as a pass for Dowda Ali ran long. And already Alloy SC proving once again that the NISA Independent Cup, a cup all about opportunity, as the Zara ball heads back to Jack Gabler for his first touch. Zara, the official soccer ball sponsor of NISA. It's worth noting that Maryland did struggle in the U.S. Open Cup in the first round match against Westchester United SC, which was a roster of largely college-aged people, and they had a hard time, had to make a late run to get that score to 2-0. Cross handled by Momban, who will get play restarted for the Maryland Bobcats in white.
That was a very risky throw into play because it went straight to the Alloy defenders, and based on the way that they've been playing, they're going to be putting a lot of pressure tonight on this Maryland side, and it doesn't seem like Maryland was fully prepared for that.
Burnett tracks this one down, as he's tasked with defending on that right side, as he was so apt to do most of last season. Cross comes through the middle, and Maryland trying to punch through this Alloy side. They are able to move back into the midfield circle. Domboya, pass called for in the middle, gets it to him. Ali and appeals for offside go unheard, as Alloy was the one to play the ball first. Punched across back to Ali. Hunting for a cross for Caleb Pritchett, sends it through. Pritchett on goal, and it's just wide.
Oh, that's so unfortunate for Pritchett. You've got to time that perfectly, and unfortunately, he also put a bit too much power on it when he was trying to probably give it a first touch. He was probably trying to do 2 touches on that ball, and he just put a bit too much power on the first.
So despite the possession for Alloy SC to start today's game, the first real chance toward goal comes from the Bobcats. And it is their snake-bitten striker, Caleb Pritchett, who had a rough go all of last season on the senior team. Having watched every Bobcats home game from last year, Pritchett couldn't buy a goal. Every time he scored, he was offside. Ali, is it back for his center backs? As the Bobcats trying to reset themselves and play the possession-based game that Alex Cow likes. Munban winds it up for Pritchett, for Philip Burnett, and that one runs long. Another throw in for the visitors from Pennsylvania.
I mean, three quarters of this game has only been played in the Bobcats defensive end. It seemed like were getting somewhere when they started to maybe counterattack there, and if you want to capitalize on this Alloy team, it looks like you're going to have to go through with the counterattack. That might go against the way that Coach Cow wants to play this game.
Yeah, Cow has, through the course of the NISA season, been a very big proponent of the possession-based football of we have the ball, they can't score, make sure that it's counterattacks only for the other side, and that's proved well so far. They're 9-0-1 through the NISA season, an 8-game winning streak. But here, Alloy SC, the EPSL visitors, are making a cross in. Cannot get that one through. Opoku left to right in front of him, up, and a diving stop. Momban unable to get to it as it rolls wide.
Got a bit under that one. Went a bit wide because he was not able to fully settle that ball, and as a result, he kind of miskicked it in a way, and it might have been a bit too early for him.
Momban is a goalie from Rockville, Maryland. He went to Montgomery College for 2 years, from 2022 until 2024. As the play gets restarted once again through Nicholas Blake. Dragged down. Can't do that.
We've seen already a lot of physicality in this game. I would expect a lot of that going forward throughout this match. The way that Alloy is wanting to play this game, it's going to make things maybe a bit more frustrating for this Maryland side.
And Alloy, again, at the Independent Cup, it's meant to track together a lot of teams that may not play each other throughout the course of the year because they're in different leagues, they're in different class levels. But part of the joy of NISA expanding the Independent Cup this year, it gives club like Alloy SC a real chance to strike in. This is a first round matchup. There's another 2 rounds on the way before a cup can be awarded. Whereas Maryland Bobcats last year, the senior team got an automatic bye to the finals of the Independent Cup region that they were in.
Yeah, but it's going to make it harder with the without a bye this year in this year's edition of the tournament for Maryland. It's going to make them maybe have to work a bit more than they're going to expect or want.
And Georgia FC, the other team in the East Regional, they are in action tonight. The only way that the two NISA sides would meet would be in the finals.
And that would probably be a matchup that Maryland wants, considering the fact that they just beat Georgia FC down in Atlanta a weekend ago, and it was in a pretty nice fashion. Yes, they were frustrated in the first half, but they started scoring on repeat for that second half, including 2 goals from off the bench.
Ali puts the ball on the ground, chased down by Moreno. Moreno, his pass takes a deflection, and the Bobcats are able to keep this ball in play.
If I was the Bobcats right now, I'd start going to the right side like that cross right there. If you can exploit that open space, then you might have a chance at getting a goal or getting one at least past and putting some pressure on this team.
Alexis Bernard couldn't connect with Dumboya. Opoku, waiting for options to develop, had to go back to O'Sullivan. Just played 8.5 minutes so far from Boyd's, Maryland. We again thank you for making us part of your Saturday night.
We also hope you're staying cool.
Yes, indeed. Bobcats offense trying to reset here. Pritchett is offside. He'll wind and fire. It won't matter.
Oh, that was such a great pass, too, because if that was onside and if he maybe took another extra step, that probably would have been in the back of the net. I mean, that was just perfect through pass for Pritchett.
Caleb Pritchett had an incredible one season at Community College of Baltimore County, Essex. He scored 23 goals in 21 games.
Most pros don't even do that.
I know. Most pros don't get to a goal a game. What is this, FIFA the video game?
You'd have to be Kylian Mbappe to do that.
And even now, Mbappe without a broken nose. Always important.
Yep. And without the Batman mask.
Hey, personally, I would have loved if he actually had a chance to wear that France mask during play. I think FIFA should be able to allow something like that for a national tournament. They should allow people to express something like that.
That wasn't FIFA though, it is UEFA.
I still think the rules should be changed.
Ooh.
Bobcats retain possession.
Like
Ali, middle of the field, has some running room.
I like that cutback to keep the ball in. You can do more of that, then you can at least give your team some confidence.
O'Sullivan clears it. Unable to handle the ball is Joshua Morgan. Boku will leave it off for O'Sullivan on the throw-in as Alloy brings players forward for the attack. Hunting for options. Cannot get it through to his intended target of Ryan Butler. Always a good try to go for your leading scorer.
Through these first 10 minutes, Maryland has definitely started to get a bit more comfortable with the high press style that Alloy seems to be wanting to play. And they've now started to get shots on target. They're starting to give this defense a lot of threats that they aren't prepared to deal with quite yet.
Pass intended for Burnett is cut off. Opoku in the middle of the field. Has 2 defenders to surround him, gets the ball squeezed through them. O'Sullivan cannot get on the end of the ball. Luke Nall winds, fires over the bar. The midfielder from Landenberg, Pennsylvania. Spent his college days at York College of Pennsylvania, made all MAC Commonwealth team. And MAC in this case is Middle Atlantic Conference, not Mid-American Conference. It is a Division III school. As Momban stands over it, and it looks like a shin pad has fallen out of somebody's sock. Can't just have a loose shin pad flying around.
No, you cannot.
Definitely a matter of safety. So good call by Ryan Myers to stop play. Header won by Bongwelli, and free kick taken too quickly. As Ramirez is doing exactly what you're taught to do, stand over the ball and make the referee force you to walk backward.
I like the idea, though, of the short kick because it completely caught Alloy off guard, and that probably would have been a goal.
Blake finds Ali. Ali cannot connect with Pritchett. Pritchett can't get back on the ball. 2-on-2, maybe a 3-on-2 break here for Alloy. They'll pull off. Ramirez back to the middle of the field.
That was the smarter decision to go back to the middle because you could have risked possibly any sort of turnover there and maybe even some sort of counter, which again, Maryland has been thriving on tonight, which has been kind of surprising since that's not their style.
Pass here, Pritchett looks like he's onside here. Flag is staying down. Pritchett cuts back onto his right foot, gets it to the goal line, pats it back into the middle the box, and cannot connect with the teammates.
That was such a good setup pass too. Just no one was there.
Opoku. Alloy SC playing the long ball. Header from Butler. Finds Yoder. Butler, now he's one-on-one. Wind up and block. Nicely done.
That hesitation killed him in a way because it didn't allow him to get any sort of good chance on that shot, and he kind of waited a bit too long. So as a result, it went right into the Maryland defender.
Well done by Joshua Morgan to block the ball. As now about 13 and a half have gone by here in this first half of action. Teams still trying to figure out how to best attack the other. Opoku keeping it on the flank for O'Sullivan. Into the interior, cannot get it through to any friendly feet. Chip here, Pritchett can't play it. Look here, Opoku running on, one-on-one with the keeper, and Mumban wins the race. If I may say so, Alloy SC is giving Maryland Bobcats a much better fight in this game than several NISA teams have given them this season.
I mean, the game against Georgia FC this past weekend was not really that close. Georgia did not have much of an attack at all against this Maryland
That
team.
tends to happen when Maryland wins 3-0.
I'm-
The scoreline definitely reflected the gameplay.
I honestly think it could have been 5-0.
Bobcats are offside on the next pass, and once again, Caleb Pritchett cannot understand how Zach Klemke marked him off there.
But going back to that Georgia game, that could have easily been 5-0 considering how well they were playing. They just had some unlucky shots, and the goaltending in Atlanta was just fantastic for Georgia. I'd say through these first 15 minutes, this is definitely a great start if you're Coach Thomas Tamale. I'm pretty sure that's how it's pronounced.
Yeah, we were not given a pronunciation guide for Alloy SC, so we are largely guessing on how to pronounce. I mean, I did say tamale earlier, so that might be wrong. I'm open to being wrong here.
I think it's probably the way that I pronounce
It is probably tamale.
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 And I think this has been a great start, though, for a team, considering the fact that he's a new coach for this team. This is his
Yeah,
first game.
this is his
a great
first
way
game.
This is a great way to start off in your first 15 minutes. It shows that you really have a game plan that can be abided by, and it seems to be working for Alloy. It's frustrating Maryland. It's not going the way that Coach Alex Kao wants.
Opoku cut off the pass. Philip Burnett able to get back onto it. Bobcats again trying to cut through the Alloy midfield, and they got some running room here. Jumping over. No call on the tackle.
That was a good no call in all honesty, considering that it didn't look like if there was any touch, it looks like it might have just been a bit of a skinning in a way.
Yeah, Omar Sanderson, the one trying to get back through the middle from his position on the right side of the offensive side. Bobcats again trying to figure out who's going to take this throw in and where's it going to go.
Right now, if I'm Maryland, I might want to switch it up a bit and switch it over to the other side of the field. There's not much happening over defensively. Both teams are playing really compact.
Pass cut off here. Caleb Pritchett gets back onto it and ruled a foul and offside, though. Caleb Pritchett can't believe it. This is the, third time in this game he's been called offside?
I have to agree with Pritchett. It did look like it did hit off of one of the Alloy defenders. And
I thought that's why he was able to play it.
yeah, same here.
Ball
Onside.
did go into the net, doesn't count.
Pritchett's had a few chances tonight, and he's really showing why he deserves to get some more playing time with the first team.
Yeah, he's a prolific striker. Again, those Community College of Baltimore County Essex stats don't lie. He's a great goal scorer as long as he stays on side. And that was the trouble all of last season in 2023. I think I saw, by my rough memory, it was roughly 7 goals called back due to being offside last year. And that's just on my memory. So I may not be remembering some, and I might be misremembering others. So take that with a helping of salt. Dada Ali, surrounded by 2 players, able to find the release valve. Ali again. Bobcats will press through the midfield. Cameron McDonald finds a way through, gets it across the face of goal. It's staying in play. Bobcats are able to hold on to it.
Really like McDonald turning on the afterburners there, put more pressure than was probably expected, and was able to at least get the ball into the box.
Blake will throw it into the 19th minute, finding the guy in open space. Pass cut off. Opoku showing off that closing speed. Butler. Pass goes through into his own foot. Josiah Ramirez looking to create once more. Opoku. 1-on-2 he goes, and he chunks it with his left foot and goes well wide.
That missed one touch from Butler really cost Alloy. That would have been an easy breakaway for this Alloy SC team, and that probably could have put them into the lead.
Butler definitely a prolific goal scorer. His last goals in college at Ursinus all came in bunches. He scored a hat trick against Immaculata in his 4th from final game. Cutting through. Penalty area for the Maryland Bobcats, and last touch. Maryland put it in. O'Sullivan puts it out.
I think they were calling for a handball there.
Ali. Down for Bernard. Down to Ali once more. Nicholas Blake calling traffic to go back as he pushes forward. One touch for Pritchett didn't go far. Opoku. And it's poked out of play. This is a wise concession here by Ali. Defense was not ready for Opoku to go back with speed to attack that line. Probably best to concede the throw, get your defense reset.
That would have been incredibly costly. You really don't want to go down 1-0 on your home turf against a team that's in a lower division, and in a tournament that you, in theory, should be a major contender for. That would have not been a great start, but it would have been a good start for Alloy, especially for Coach Thomas Tamale.
Wine and fire blocked away. Opoku cannot get to the end of that ball. Not kept in. Derek Ramirez puts it into the box. Punched out of the air by Momban.
That was a really nice curling cross, though.
And Pritchett may have been onside there, but we'll never know. Alloy cuts off the pass.
I think there was a bit of hesitation from the forwards for Alloy SC, and if that wasn't the case, that could have been past Doumbia. He was way off his line, and that would have been a massive error.
Alexis Bernard puts it through. Caleb Pritchett. Flag stays down. Back for Philip Burnett. Alexis Bernard. Burnett. Bernard. First choice, second choice, back to third choice. Alloy's defenders had everybody covered on that exchange.
I've liked what I've seen from Bernard tonight so far on the ball. He's very smooth with his footwork as well. And that's one of the youth academy kids, isn't it?
I believe so. Most of you can probably throw a dart and find somebody on the youth academy on this roster. Foul conceded here as Opoku's going to have to poke this one all the way back to the other side of the field to get the ball back in the proper spot to restart play. "22 minutes played. Alloy SC definitely coming out with purpose tonight. They have controlled the majority of the possession. They haven't had that many chances on Yusuf Mumban in net for Maryland, but it really is showing the EPSL team, they're here to play tonight.
I mean, this is also just a tournament that every team can come in and possibly win. No, no one is safe in this tournament. This isn't the regular season where there are expectations and you know who's going to be a contender and who you know who's not going to be, and this is just a clean slate for everyone.
Part of the joy of the Independent Cup, it's the element of surprise.
And that can be the same. That could be the same thing for tournaments like the UEFA Champions League.
O'Sullivan cuts in into the 6-yard. Mumban puts it down. Burnett gets it up and out.
I mean, that was just straight on target.
Heading for Butler, cannot get through to him. Sailed over Butler looking for Yoder, and Mumban sends it far, looking for Pritchett, who cannot win the header, but he's offside anyway.
Mumban has looked really good tonight. Does not seem phased whatsoever.
I believe the teams are going to take advantage of the fact that the heat index is very high here in Maryland. They're going to have a hydration break, which gives all of us a chance to catch our breath and understand, what are we watching here? Wow, Alloy SC, they are here to play tonight. Josh, talk us through what you've seen so far.
Alloy, I kind of like what they're doing here. I watch a lot of MLS. This gives me a lot of Red Bull vibes. High press. They're very, very heavily focused on the attack, but they don't want the ball much, which is really interesting, which is going to be very interesting against Maryland, which is a team that does want the ball, but they aren't as much high press. They're going to be just more, they want ball possession.
Something that Maryland's defensive structure likes to do is compact the midfield. Something that a lot of teams have struggled to do here through Maryland in the last couple of years has been to break through that midfield line. The times that they've been able to do so, it's been a challenge sometimes for the center backs and the wings to deal with. However, the packed midfield tends to give Maryland a lot of comfort. And last year, again, they had Alex Sutton in net, who is now in MLS Next Pro. He moved on to the next level. He was incredible in net. And this year, Jacob Boyle, he's up there in clean sheets for NISA. He's getting closer to Irvine Zeta FC, who have been dominating the West. So he's getting close to that Golden Gloves race.
Got a clean sheet in the last game, too, against Georgia. But yeah, this has been a very impressive showing so far from Alloy SC. They're really taking it to this Maryland side, but this hydration break is going to be huge, and it could be a real game changer because you got to wonder what the coaches are saying to their players. You got to wonder how much this could also be the heat that might be getting to some of these guys. You don't want anybody getting dehydrated. You don't want cramps. You don't want anybody dealing with any of that stuff. So hopefully maybe this will get a bit more into the scoring column.
Yeah, this isn't the 1904 St. Louis Marathon where the organizer was literally trying to do a science experiment of what would happen if I purposefully dehydrated elite athletes. Have you read anything about this?
I've never heard about
Oh,
that.
man.
That's really funny.
For anybody out there who's maybe looking for some halftime entertainment, the 1908 Olympic Marathon in St. Louis, Missouri, it was America's first outing as host of the Olympics as game gets restarted. And the marathon was one of the most bonkers sporting events I've ever watched. It's the results. The person who won gold in that, his gold medal time in the marathon was the slowest ever in Olympic history, and it was, I think, slower than every finisher from the 2016 Olympics. It was the heat index of that marathon was in the 120s. Which is, not ideal running weather.
So not even close to Usain Bolt time.
Oh, no, not at all. Well, Usain Bolt's a sprinter, not a marathoner. I think you're looking for Mo Farah, the marathoner.
That's what I meant.
Okay.
Right now for Maryland, you really got to capitalize on trying to create counterattacks. That's probably going to be the only way that you're going to be able to even put something on net right now.
Bernard tried to spring Pritchett one-on-one with the goalie. Pritchett looked onside from here. Jersey tugging.
I think he was on by like a hair.
Everyone gets away with it. O'Sullivan looking to create. Crosses it in over the heads of everybody. As Dominic Francis will run this to the corner flag. And I believe we have a throw-in here against Maryland. Yes, we do.
Although there was a corner, I honestly thought that went behind the goal line.
Well, guess not. They're going to try something long here. As Bombon comes out into the edge of the 6-yard and backs away. Cleared. Pritchett's behind the halfway line as this ball comes through, and he'll get it here on the misplay. Header down to himself. Gets it onto his left foot. He's 1 against 2. Loses control. Well played by Iban Banguele to keep Pritchett off the goal sheet.
Banguele with the speed enough to catch up with Pritchett. Pritchett, if he's able to get 1 or 2 steps more in front of the Banguele there, he's in, and that's probably in the net.
Nicholas Blake did not take the throw in properly, so he'll have to do it again. Looking for McDonald. McDonald takes the tip, and this is the first corner of the match for the Bobcats or Alloy SC. So a chance here for Maryland to create some offense off a set piece as they put several bodies into the box. One makes a run. Everyone will be on side here. Pritchett can't spin that one through as Alexis Bernard runs it down at the touch. Philip Burnett will cross it back in, deflect it away. Burnett running after it, gets a pass through, and unfortunately for him, it runs straight into a green shirt.
That was a really good chance, though, for Maryland. That was the first true scoring opportunity. They've had a few, but that one, they could have had a really good shot at breaking through.
Dumboya splits the defense, gets around another player.
Good footwork.
Crosses it in. Intended target not available. Butler is offside as he spins the header.
I think we're seeing a pattern. Both of the top forwards tonight are guys that like to inch offside. Not inch offside, but they are inching past the defense to be able to get a breakaway and score.
I'm laughing because in my head I'm thinking they don't like to go offside. They just do go offside.
That was just my brain.
That's okay. No worries, Josh. Bernard finds Burnett. Back to Bernard.
I'd like to see them maybe exploit Alloy maybe by switching the field. That could be a way that Maryland can break through here. I haven't seen a lot of it tonight yet.
Dumboya sends a pass in, cut off, reaches its intended target eventually. Blake spins, cannot get it around O'Sullivan.
I'd say, though, if you're Alex Kao right now, these are the last 15 minutes you are probably much, much happier about. The first 15 were a bit shaky defensively for this team, and it really showed Alloy that they can have some confidence about playing in this match.
Dumboya sends a cross back. Maryland just cannot get the offense going on that right side of their attack. So they'll try again from the left. Blake puts it in from Dumboya. Shake and bake, moves it onto his left. Well done to get around O'Sullivan. Forces a corner off the deflection off Hostetter.
Alloy is lucky that they were able to get that out of there for a corner, but that was just such beautiful footwork. May I actually call it fancy footwork from Doumbia. The cutback was just chef's kiss.
Hostetter the one to send it out of play. He had a college career at Messiah College where he spent time on the club soccer and volleyball team. Header sends the ball out, and Maryland's second corner does not yield result. Blake again for Moreno. And now Alloy a chance for possession here off the throw-in. Dominic Francis looks like he'll be the one to take it. Alloy again gets ball on the foul. 32 minutes into this contest. This really is anybody's game right now.
I think Alex Kao, the coach of Maryland Bobcats FC, was probably expecting to have at least 1 or 2 goals up on the scoreboard that we have here at the stadium, but I think he's a bit surprised that this is still scoreless and that Alloy is playing at the level that they are.
If I may read anything into the patterns of the substitutions available tonight, there's only one forward on the bench for Maryland, Mohit Nigam, and well, that may have been wishful thinking of only bringing in one replacement for the forwards.
I think they were expecting that the forwards would have an easy game tonight. This was going to be a midfield battle, but it does not seem to be that way. It seems to be the defenders that are having to go to the trenches.
Opoku cut off the pass, forcing Maryland to redo their attack. Nicholas Blake. Everyone waiting for options. Alexis Bernard's the best one.
Pass.
Threaded it through looking for Dumboya or Pritchett, and neither one made the run for it.
I mean, Dumboya and Pritchett need to speed up at least and maybe try to get that ball or try to get to that ball. That was a really clean pass. That was going to set something up there.
Butler can't get on the end of the long goal kick. Blake for Morgan. And Morgan has to go back to Mumban. It's a well-designed structure here for Alloy SC, the 4-3-3 with a runner from the midfield heading up into the front on the forecheck, as it were, for any ice hockey fans. This is a really well-structured defense. Maryland is having a rough time breaking as Mumban fakes out Butler and sends the pass long. Dumboya unable to get on the end of it. Hostetter will escort it to his keeper, Gabler.
When I was in high school and I played soccer, 4-3-3 was always the formation that worked for some reason. It works a lot, especially in professional leagues. It really frustrates and it really emphasizes the need to find different ways to create chances for scoring.
Luke Nall threads it into the 6-yard. Mumban will scoop it. Take no chances. .34.5 gone by in the first half of action. Mumban will find a frequent target of his, just Joshua Morgan. Back for Alexis Bernard. Alloy's defenders have closed in, so they'll try the right side. Eric Moreno will go long. Pritchett was coming back.
Yeah, I think he was off there. I think that would have been a stoppage of play.
35 minutes gone by. No score here for Marine Hendricks Field. Dowda Ali pokes it out of play.
Going back to that counterattack point, I think that's the best way that you're going to be able to get through this Alloy FC defense. It was really the only time that they've been able to struggle. If you can get something on the counter and get something past that defense, you've got a really good chance of putting yourselves up on top.
Nall, Derek Ramirez, and he'll send it well out of play. Maryland a chance for an offensive half throw-in, and they'll head back into the defensive end. Moreno cannot connect with his intended target, but the deflection goes for another Maryland throw. A few tense moments here for Marine Hendricks Field. You get the sense that first team to score, that might be the only thing we have tonight.
I mean, both sides have gotten really good chances, but either they haven't been able to put them on target or just been fantastic goalkeeping, especially in the case of Maryland Bobcat with Mumban.
Maryland will switch field, try the left side, but Opoku appealing cannot win the appeal.
like the switch, but you don't want to risk anything, especially with a defender on you. That could really, really come back to bite you in the butt.
Moreno sends it long, looking for Dumboya. Will get it to him. Dumboya, flag stays down. He's onside. Crosses back into the penalty area, and they'll let this one run to the touchline and no further. Ali finding McDonald. Omar Sanderson can't get on the end of that, as he was offside anyway.
Maryland's got to break through at some point, considering how much they've had the ball in the last 5 minutes or so in their attacking zone, which it's putting a lot of pressure on Alloy. I think they're now starting to get into the heads of the visitors from Lancaster.
Everybody being sent forward here for this offside free kick to restart the action. They'll keep it low for Derek Ramirez. The visitors in green moving through on the attack. Cannot get through Moreno. Moreno has to run back for it, and he'll pull up and save his energy. Quick throw taken in. Josiah Ramirez leaves it off, and Philip Burnett will escort it out of play. Goal kick.
Alloy starting to look dangerous now in this closer to the end of the first half. This is that was the first true real attack that they had in a good while. I think it's been.
I think since the hydration break, that's for sure.
I think it's been 10 minutes since they were even able to somewhat get a shot on target. It's not even a shot on target, but they were able to at least penetrate the defense here.
Moreno finds Burnett. Burnett, ever capable at right back, goes back to him. Dowda Ali on the one touch. Pritchett. Back for Ali. Looking to switch to the left. Bernard, and the Cameron McDonald dribble goes a bit long. Opoku poked it away. Dumboya and Pritchett both did not get on the end of that pass. Derek Ramirez. The visitors knifing through, and a hard tackle restart the action. O'Sullivan. Back for Hostetter. Derek Ramirez. Chips it through, and whoa, that nearly ended poorly.
We saw Ali talk to the referee there for a quick second. I wonder if he was upset that Alloy was able to get a short free kick, but he whistled it back when Maryland tried it.
Always good to at least try to work Ryan Myers for the next call. You may not be able to influence the previous one, but you can always try for the next one. Long pass here for Pritchett. Heavy first touch, but he maintains control.
Going back to that, you also just want to make sure that you're not saying the wrong thing.
Facts, yes.
Because this is anything like professional soccer. If you say the wrong thing, you could possibly get sent off for a red. With
Opoku keeping it through. O'Sullivan cuts it in. Well blocked. No hand. No appeal. No goal.
Bon is lucky that that one was blocked. That would have gotten past him and into the net because he slid a bit too early there.
Opoku cannot find an angle toward the box, so he'll go back for Josiah Ramirez. And this pass goes all the way back, chasing Hostetter back toward his cage. Entering now the 42nd minute of action. Long ball, looking for Butler. Butler and Mumbon collide, and a foul on Butler, not giving Mumbon a clear landing area.
He is lucky that that did not happen outside of the box. That would have been a handball and a very, very dangerous free kick.
Wait for it. And Myers is telling Mumbon that he has to take the free kick from a specific area that he did not take it from. Back to your point earlier about being able to take a free kick fast.
Yeah, and Ali is...
I'm sure Dowda Ali has some words here.
I would think he's got A, some words, and B, is probably fuming that That's now twice that they've had a short kick or a quick kick called off.
Ryan Butler mishandled the touch pass off the interception. Opoku. Chance here for Alloy SC to create. Cannot do so. Eric Moreno once again breaking up the effort.
These young kids, man, they are here to play and they are here to have fun. And Moreno with he's actually been really good defensively tonight. Off the ball, he's had some good movement. He's finding himself in the right spaces most of the time.
Uh-oh. Foul by Nicholas Blake concedes the opportunity for a free kick. About, what would you call that, 25, 26 yards or so?
I'm going to say that's about, I'm going to actually go a bit further. I think that's about 30.
Okay. My yardage distance eyes are not that great. But I see the 18 and I'm like, all right, I don't know how far that is.
Lines from at least my vantage point are they're a bit subtle.
Dominic Francis stands over, a prolific scorer in the arena ranks, teaming with Opoku. Francis sends it in. Mumban runs in. Did he get the last touch? No. Goal kick for the Bobcats.
I thought that one was deflected out by Mumban, but look, Francis is from England, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, Huddersfield.
If he is, that means he was trying to bend it like Beckham there. It didn't have that kind of bend, but it did have some good bend to it.
I was wondering, where is this going? Where is this going? And you brought it home eventually. Mumban will send it into the mixer. Caleb Pritchett the one to get first touch to it, but a well-done back heel sends it away. Yoder, and he cannot keep control.
Yoder actually has a few records at his school, Lancaster Bible College. He's tied for fifth in career assists for the Chargers for that program. I think he's got something like 80.
O'Sullivan puts it through. He has 38 career assists.
Oh.
50 fewer than what you were talking about.
My brain sometimes works in mysterious ways.
Don't all of our brains? Cross comes in, cross goes out. Caleb Pritchett was onside at the halfway line, but the pass goes awry.
That's so unfortunate. That would have been the perfect opportunity to get through. That deflection really killed it.
Would have looked like the old Major League Soccer penalty kicks where there was just a breakaway.
Oh my God. And
remember those?
I just saw somebody post about that on Reddit.
I am so happy that one historical note from my older brother actually came in handy tonight. Shout out my brother Zach. He's at home recovering from COVID. Yusuf Mumban will take this free kick from deep within his own third. Basically just an elevated goal kick from this range. Sending it deep. Pritchett looks like the intended target, and he cannot be the first one to it this time. Heavy collision. Philip Burnett comes down with it.
Pritchett's got to jump on those. You've got to really make it contested.
Dowda Ali gets around one, gets around two, can't get around a third. Foul on Ali.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
He did run into the final defender there.
Looks like Dominic Francis the one doubled over.
Yeah, and that's not a loss that you can afford if you're Alloy. This is a dude who's actually got a lot of experience, and he's a proven goal scorer on the back line, which is something that you're not accustomed to saying.
Well, remember, on the back line is just in the outdoor game, so he's a prolific scorer from the indoor game where positions, unless you're a goalie, largely don't really matter, at least from my understanding of the indoor game, which is limited.
That's not to say defenders do have goal-scoring capabilities.
Yes, absolutely they do. Opoku and Nicholas Blake, they've been locked in a heat all night long. Opoku, and he gets tripped.
I think they're saying he pulled the jersey.
Yeah.
And Pritchett does not seem to agree with that, and I don't know if I agree with Pritchett there.
Pritchett's in the center of the field.
Or not Pritchett.
19, not 9. You're looking at Cameron McDonald.
I don't think McDonald is Again,
I've
this
I've
heat has
made that
gotten to everyone.
I've made that mistake many a time in other contexts.
I
It's
think
no
this
big
heat.
deal.
I think this heat's also gotten to everyone at this point. But yeah, I think McDonald is kind of disagreeing with Myers there. It did not look like he pulled the jersey. It looked more like a trip.
Now, I'm curious here what the argument is between Myers and Dominic Francis standing over the ball. I think it was just ball placement.
I think, I think Francis was cheating, trying to maybe
Give him
give
a
him
yard
some.
or two.
I was gonna say not even a yard, more like a few feet.
Francis curls it in, cannot curl it well enough.
Again, that bend is just so clean, but he's not getting the amount of power on it that he needs to even put it close to the net and threaten Moonbon.
Josh, you ever bowl?
Yes,
Okay.
I was actually on the Hofstra Club bowling team.
No kidding. Okay, so you might get this reference then, but you know how in bowling, if you make that curve just a little bit further,
Yes.
you miss the pocket of the 1-3 or the 1-2 that you're hitting when that curve goes in.
That's what's happening with Francis's free kicks.
Yes, thank you. Somebody understood what I was going for there. Cameron McDonald, last touch off of. Myers appeals to the AR, and it goes for the Bobcats as McDonald writhing on the ground after that tackle.
That should have been called a foul. I mean, there was not really much of an. There was an attempt to play the ball, but there was not much contact with the ball. It looked more like the foot was taken out from under McDonald.
So Maryland here, a offensive third throw as McDonald going to get up and walk it off. Looks like he's okay to continue.
And for McDonald, I would say stretch it out for just a quick second, and because you don't want to start cramping up, especially in this heat. The heat today is just dangerous.
We are past the allotted 45 minutes into the penalty area, and Alloy SC clears the danger. First half will continue at the discretion of the match referee for about one more second after I said that for the first half to go. A scoreless first, both teams struggling so far to find the net.
Yeah, this has been a very, very defensive matchup, but you've seen some really good chances tonight. It's just none of them have been on target or have gone in, so we'll see what happens in the second half.
Maryland and Alloy SC in the first round of the NISA Independent Cup will be back with the second half of action. Don't go far. We'll just mute our microphones and be back for the second half. And welcome back to Boyd's, Maryland from Marine Hendricks Field. Just past the 8 o'clock hour, we thank you for joining us on NISA Plus. My name is Max Walpuff, and joined alongside tonight by Josh Sager. And on behalf of all of us here at the Maryland Bobcats, thank you for making us part of your Saturday night entertainment. Josh, tonight's getting a very interesting game here. Alloy SC definitely here with a young roster, challenging the Bobcats at every step of the way. Neither team's been able to get much forward offensively.
This is a Maryland. This is also a young Maryland team that hasn't really played or hasn't played together at all. So you're wondering if there's maybe those cohesion issues that could be causing why there isn't much scoring in this match thus far.
So both teams will now switch sides. Maryland will move from the right to the left. Alloy SC in the green with the white numbers. They will move to the right side. Maryland will start the half with the ball. We did get confirmation during the break to see what the procedure would be if teams are tied at the end of this. Because it is the NISA Independent Cup, there needs to be a winner. And as a result, if teams are tied after 90 minutes, 30 minutes of extra time split into two 15-minute halves, penalty kicks afterward if we're still tied.
Yeah, this is not the UEFA Champions League. No aggregate here. It's
Thank
win
goodness.
or go
Thank
home.
goodness.
So you've got to score now if you want to move on and get farther in this tournament and possibly raise a cup.
So, again, this is the first round out of 3 here in the NISA Independent Cup. Next week, the winner of this match will face Nova FC out of NISA Nation in the semifinals. Georgia FC on the other side of the bracket. They are playing UMA FC tonight. And on July 28th weekend would be the finals. Caleb Pritchett stands over the ball. As everybody is set, Ryan Myers will blow the whistle. The second half is rolling. Let's have some fun with a Zara ball. Zara, the official soccer ball sponsor of NISA, runs out for a deep defensive third Alloy SC throw-in.
I think for Maryland, the goal for this half is exploit what you can on this Alloy defense. They don't seem to be able to produce much on the counterattack, so you might want to take advantage of that.
Maryland here trying to defend the throw-in and get possession back, but a well-done throw to at least get some yardage back here for Alloy SC. No changes at the half for either squad, so same 11 we started with. Ryan Butler sent that one off his back. Well defended by Moreno. Luke Nall sent that one through to O'Sullivan. Opoku poked that one through.
I like the back heel there.
Josiah Ramirez tangled up in some feet. Bobcats will get possession here.
If I was to take a guess on the possession numbers, I would have said it's probably 45-55 in favor of the visitors here. Maryland needs to take control of that possession stat if they want to have much more of a chance of winning this match, because it doesn't seem that they are going to be able to win this game without the possession.
Burnett sent it back for Moreno, who gets it right back from Alexis Bernard. For Sanderson, Burnett, he can create from that right side, appeals for a handball. It looked like it was a handball, but it will go out for a corner instead.
I think they're going to say that that was in a natural position. I don't think there was much of a chicken wing there, so to speak, which for those of you at home that want to know what that means, a chicken wing is when your elbow is out, but your hand is closer to your body. And I'm wondering if they're saying that there was no chicken wing there, I think it was more the elbow.
So Cameron McDonald will stand over it. Everybody in the box looks to be onside here. Pross comes through, bounced, and got away.
So now at least 3 or 4 set pieces that Maryland hasn't been able to convert on. If they want to make it far, they've got to learn how to do that.
Big save from Gabler off the bid from Domboya. And another corner coming up.
Really good save. Point blank. You've got to time that perfectly, and that was done very well. For Alloy SC's goalkeeper, Gabler.
That was a great throw-in from Caleb Pritchett, too. 2 hands go up, the ball crosses in, mix of bodies, and Alloy SC comes away with it. Not for long. Dada Ali sent it through to the mixer.
this game has started to open up a bit more, I'd say Maryland is definitely seeming more comfortable here to start this half.
Well, heat index today was definitely up in the 80s. High humidity, close to 50% humidity throughout most of today. Definitely not as high as the 131 index of the 1904 St. Louis Olympic Marathon. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just look it up if you didn't do so at halftime.
And now that the temperature is starting to cool down, in all seriousness, it's going to allow for players to maybe move a bit more smoothly. It's going to help them not be as tired. I mean, their legs are already going to be tired. They were already playing in 95-degree-like temperatures.
So Gabler took the pass as Pritchett once again was in an offside position, held his run, and did not go forward with it. First real offensive chance here for Alloy FC. Josiah Ramirez, assist leader last season for Alloy, trying to create something. Can't find Derek Ramirez. The pass is up ahead, intercepted by Bonguele. Francis. Yoder. Ramirez pokes it in. Running through, and Maryland's backline clears it up as Momban came out to challenge.
Momban is lucky that that was poked away because that would have been a goal.
Big run here. Domboya running down the left side. Domboya able to get to the ball first. Finds it back for Pritchett. Pokes it on nets, and it's saved. Jack Gabler keeps it from dribbling through his legs.
Oh my God, that was it, wasn't it, Max?
That was the moment.
I mean, the fact that Gabler was able to get on top of that too was just unreal. You have no idea the difficulty of that.
You're right. I don't. I never played goalie.
I mean, you've got to perfectly time that, and he did.
And Domboya, the pass, Pritchett, the finish. He got it through Gabler, just not strong enough to get over the line. Oh, that was rough. Still scoreless so far.
Yeah, but that seemed to work. If you can have Domboya be able to do some of that going forward, this could really open this game up, and it's starting to really put a lot of pressure on this Alloy side.
Shadows have taken over the entirety of the field. Philip Burnett poked it out, and it'll be a throw for Alloy SC. Throw it to nobody in particular. Luke Nall back for Opoku. Opoku sliding in, keeping it to the interior, and he'll take a corner. First one of the half for Alloy.
I think this is the first one of the entire match for Alloy as well. So we'll see what they can do on a set piece like this.
Kedrick Yoder will be the one to take it out of Choix, Mexico. I hope I'm saying that town right. It's due west of Monterey in the Gulf of California region, although it's more inland from the Gulf itself. Momban pokes it out. Well defended. Opoku able to win the ball, though. Danger not averted for Maryland. Arms are extended for Dominic Francis. He doesn't get it. Instead, a pass for Derek Ramirez heads off the side netting.
Hit the inside of the foot, too. You don't want to I don't think you want to volley that, considering the acute angle that you were in. I mean,
This is the first time I've heard somebody use the term acute angle in sports and mean it properly. Well done, Josh.
I paid attention in math class as bad as I was at it.
I didn't. I was a communications guy.
Same here.
The school I graduated from at Boston University, the initials in the computer were COM, so we took that as College of Optional Math, because we only needed to take one math class to satisfy our college requirements.
But going back to that shot, though, in all seriousness, there's no reason to volley that. That's not going to go into the net. It was such a difficult angle to even get it from.
Dowda Ali got the ball. Caleb Pritchett running on. Caleb Pritchett pyres a strike, another save for Gabler. And the frustration starting to show from the striker in number 9.
You were not kidding about him being snake bit. This is just becoming unfair at this point for Caleb Pritchett. You know he's owed a goal at this point. Just let him have one.
The soccer gods would beg to differ, I guess.
The soccer gods are cruel today, aren't they?
Yes, very much so. You can ask Switzerland all about it. Cross comes in, looking for a head. Burnett couldn't get on the end of it. Burnett had a goal in the NISA Independent Cup Finals last season against Maryland Bobcats 2. As Alloy SC cannot totally turn play here. A foul conceded and probably a good strategy foul from Omar Sanderson.
Yeah, Sanderson also making no attempt to play the ball. That's going to get called every day. But also another team that you want to say that has not been making the soccer gods happy. Our local DC United here, worst team in the Eastern Conference in MLS right now, currently down 2-0 in Orlando.
My, how the tables turn. A dynasty of the early 90s and the early years of the league, and suddenly it's just very slow decline after. Opoku gets beyond his defender. Nice play off the ball. Unfortunately falls for Null. He scores! Luke Null opens the scoring, and Alloy SC has the lead.
Well, what did I say at the beginning of this? This is a fresh slate. This is a chance for everyone to be able to make an impact here. And for Alloy, it's Luke Null. He, with a really nice strike, the York College graduate who had a really good season last year. 12 career assists in college too, and finally he gets to set up the goal here for this York team. Great setup too in the run of play there. So
3 of Luke Null's goals in college in 2022 were game winners. He has the lead goal this game so far, as the Bobcats in danger of falling here to the EPSL Delaware River champions.
yeah, and this is not the start of the tournament or the performance in the tournament that Alex Ko wants. This is a club that you want to show excellence, especially considering you're in the top flight of NISA. This is a club that's got pretty good history. This is not the way you want to go out early.
The Bobcats have had the run of chances in this half, but the first one for Alloy, they're able to net.
And it was on a really good play, too. Just really unfortunate timing.
Deflected for Pritchett. Back to him. Pritchett gets it down to his foot. Spins onto his right. Finding McDonald. McDonald winds and fires, and that's an easy dribbler for Gabler.
I like the idea, but I don't think that was the right shot to take it or the right area to take it from. You've got multiple defenders in front of you, which helps, and it could have impeded the goalkeeper's vision, but it was too soft and too readable.
So Gabler taking all the time he is allotted. And you wonder here, Ryan Myers might start to get a little sensitive to the amount of time Gabler spends with the ball. I'm not sure if the camera caught it, but Ryan Myers did hold up a fist toward Jack Gabler as he put the ball down into play. I'm not totally sure what that means. I didn't go to referee school.
I don't know what that means either. I'm interested to see now how Alex Ko is going to change his game style now, down 1-0 to a team in a lower division, and you really want to prove yourselves here.
Sanderson knifing through. Sanderson cuts in, takes control, playing advantage, and kick save. Gabler gets it up.
I mean,
Domboya again robbed here.
Gabler is right now player of the game. If you're Alloy SC, he has stopped some incredible shots and incredible goal opportunities. This is just not going the way of Maryland.
Ball out for Alloy. Burnett will play the throw. The toss goes behind our referee for Dowda Ali. And Myers is going to stop play. I believe because it was taken from the wrong area.
Yeah.
Now Burnett, after trying to take it quickly earlier, can't do so. And Pritchett, bicycle pass misplayed by Bongueli.
Look, if you've got the skill to do it, do it. If you want to take that risk, and if you're willing to do it, it can work sometimes.
Burnett gets it back inside. Sanderson tried to find a pass to the middle, couldn't get there. Burnett chips it in. Derek Ramirez pokes it away. Ryan Butler, the team's leading scorer in their last campaign, sends a long ball looking for a Poku on the ground. Rolls out, throw in for the Bobcats. They'll take it quick. Burnett back from Moreno, and Moreno's pass bounced off of the defender on him. Fortunate break for the Bobcats as Dominic Francis was the last one to touch it. 58 minutes gone by here in this game, and the visitors from Lancaster, Pennsylvania have the lead. A goal from Luke Knoll in the 54th minute. Backs into the box, and Sullivan cannot get there. Josiah Ramirez couldn't finish the play. Mumbad, another save to keep it at 1.
Nice way to parry that away. If that's mistimed by even the splittest of milliseconds, that's going into the back of the net.
Francis will take the throw.
Alloy has definitely looked much more dangerous in the last 3 minutes, and you've got to wonder what's going through the heads of these Bobcats players right now.
Sanderson turns, going upfield. He's got a defender right on him, and Dominic Francis takes him to ground. Potential free kick chance here for the Bobcats. Wonder what Cameron McDonald's plans are. McDonald over the ball, and he'll take a moment to reset his shot as Ryan Myers talks with the Alloy SC wall. Francis and Yoder the only ones there. Everybody else playing the pass. Here comes the ball, comes in, Burnett can't chest it down.
Oh, that is just wrong place at the wrong time for Burnett. That was probably one of the best opportunities Maryland's going to have all night, and definitely the best one that they've had so far.
The former Liberty Flame getting his first real look here with the senior team this season. He was a midseason signing last year, played in an incredible position at right back. Throw in here for the Bobcats. Sanderson to take. He'll leave off for Burnett. One-time Liberty Flame graduate from Liberty University, south of here in Virginia. Who was that last off of? Maryland. It'll be a goal kick. And Gabler predictably is sending everybody forward.
Alloy SC right now just has all the momentum to...
I believe we're getting a goalkeeper substitution for the Bobcats.
Wonder if this was planned or not, or if there was an injury. Looking like it was planned because it doesn't seem like there doesn't seem to be any sort of pain right now. So this means that we're going to be seeing Chandler Gauntz.
Well. An interesting move here from Alex Cow. His first change is the goalie. In a game where you're trailing 1-0, and it didn't appear that there was anything wrong with Yusuf Mumban's injury status, but...
Wonder maybe if he did something to his arm after that last save?
Maybe.
Maybe landed wrong?
We're getting too deep into playing doctor, and that's not something we should do unless we're actors on television.
Yeah, we also don't want to go into the hypotheticals.
So Burnett will throw it in as Maryland makes their first substitution in the Independent Cup. Pritchett bounced over. Burnett runs into the ball. Bongueli taken down. And Sanderson again is going to get a talking to as he walks away.
He's got to be careful. I think that's 1 or 2 fouls already for Sanderson. You don't want to get a yellow for persistent infringement.
Substitute coming in for Alloy SC. We'll have their names in a moment. It looks like 2 substitutions being made. Josiah Ramirez, one of the ones coming off. And Aiden O'Sullivan also another one coming off. So that's 2 midfielders. The only midfielder listed on the substitution roster is Matthew Ziders, number 3. I haven't seen numbers yet, and we haven't been told who's coming in.
Yeah.
No digital board was held up as Butler comes in for the ball. Couldn't get through to it. Domboya. Nice footwork to get it around. Looking for the pass. Pritchett. Flag stays down, but he runs out of gas on that one. He may have let up on purpose as Gabler cuts in looking for the ball.
I think he might have been offside by like a smidge. Again, it's just been so unfortunate for Pritchett.
That's the trouble. When you get called offside so frequently, sometimes you can be gun-shy even when you are onside. I recall a game.
It gets to your head really quick.
Yeah, I recall a game last year where Pritchett had been called offside 3 times, and on the 4th time he wasn't called offside. He was on. He looked back at the AR instead of running for the ball. Sanderson knifes in. Sanderson to Pritchett, away from his feet.
I can tell you this, from what we've seen from Sanderson today, he's got a very promising career ahead of him. He's got really good footwork. He's so calm on the ball. He's got a lot of physicality to him for a guy as small as he is. This is going to be a guy that could be very promising for the Bobcats and possibly even higher levels in the future.
Hofstadter. As we're trying to see the numbers on the 2 newest players, we've yet to be told who came in for Aiden O'Sullivan and Josiah Ramirez. Here's Derek Ramirez, and this one is out. Couldn't get it into Dominic Francis. Burnett takes it quick. Opoku runs off this pass. Tried to switch fields a little too far. Pass going in, looking for Yoder. Yoder able to get around, and no foul awarded as Moreno cut him off. So first touch for Chandler Gauntz, the new goalkeeper here. Header from Pritchett. Dumboya running onto it. And last off of the Bobcats.
Yep. I think that's the right call. It definitely did look like it might have taken a touch there.
So Gabler lines up for the kick. Spent a year at Stockton University, Division III in New Jersey. Only played twice. Then he transferred to Millersville University in Pennsylvania, a Division II school. He was a PSAC Scholar Athlete in 2023. Yellow card being shown to Sanderson for the challenge.
Yeah, and I just mentioned a couple minutes ago that he's already gotten himself into foul trouble a couple of times. It was persistent infringement at this point. There was probably going to be a yellow card coming somewhere, and it comes on this play. So now he's got to
first card of the match.
Yeah, he's now got to be very careful. And considering the fact that he's been playing super physically tonight, anything could happen, and you really don't want to see red down 1-0 right now.
So Francis back on it. This play is restarted here. Looking for Butler. Falls instead for Luke Nall, the goal scorer. And that one runs out of play. A chance for Gauntz to restart through a goal kick.
Not a good first touch there. Or on the shot at least. I mean, he probably could have taken one more and could have squeaked it past.
Sense of urgency potentially starting up here for the Bobcats. Trailing by 1. 66 full minutes have gone by here. We passed 8:30. We thank you again for joining us from wherever you are here on this Saturday, July 6th. As the Zara ball runs off out of play. Zara, the official soccer ball sponsor of NISA, is thrown back in and we restart. Matthew Ziders and William Ardeals, the 2 that came in for Alloy. Ziders came in for Ramirez as Burnett runs down the flank. Burnett cuts in, 6-yard box coming in. It's on the line. Pritchett's got it. Pritchett chips it in.
Well, he's finally got one.
Flag stays down. Game is tied.
He's finally got one, and it was such a really respectable effort by Gabler to keep it out, but it just landed at the wrong place, wrong time for him, and Pritchett at the right place, right time, on the doorstep too, puts it into the back of the net, and he's finally ended that curse.
Wow. Caleb Pritchett has finally scored a goal for the Maryland Bobcats senior team. And now the complexion of this game has changed as the teams will take advantage of the stop and go for their water break in this heat. So,
You couldn't have asked for a water break at a better time, right?
yeah, for both squads, really. For Maryland, a chance to maybe settle down the nerves here. They did just retie the game. You are going to play about 20 or so more minutes, maybe 25 with the stoppage time. And this is a real chance here for Alloy SC. Regroup yourself. You've just given up the goal, and you've played really good defense so far against Maryland, but for one mishandled ball from Jack Gabler, this is still a 1-0 game.
That goal also comes completely off of the setup by Burnett. Him getting past the defenders and then just crossing it in, and Gabler having to deal with not one but two Maryland Bobcat attackers. That was just a perfect storm for this side, and this is a goal that finally is going to give Alex Keogh's squad a momentum.
Uday Dumboya, and he's been also really struggling to get that last effort, that last pass, that last connection. Today, man, he finally got it. But again, don't forget about Burnett, the secondary assist. Even though this is an ice hockey, you got to remember the guy who started that play on the right flank.
Burnett needs to get so much credit for that setup, and Pritchett needs to, I think, buy Burnett some dinner to say thank you for ending my drought.
An incredible scene here from Maureen Hendricks Field as we get restarted in the 70th minute after the hydration break. Wow. I actually had to look to the side to see if the flag had caught up or not after Pritchett scored, because I had become so used to the flag going up after he scores a goal, or sorry, after he puts the ball into the net.
He's lucky that the person that touched it previously was Gabler.
Listen, I feel so relieved for Caleb Pritchett. I've watched this guy now for 2 years with the Bobcats. He has that goal-scoring touch. He has that instinct to run forward. And here he is jumping back on the ball, trying to get away from Luke Nall, the other goal scorer in this game. And for Pritchett to finally get one in tight, nothing pretty, garbage goal, get it off of the rebound, off a mishandle, that's got to feel good. I don't think our camera guy here saw it as Pritchett went toward the corner flag. Man, that had to feel good for Caleb.
And sometimes you got to wonder if that's going to end a drought and it's going to start him scoring repeatedly.
Cross into the box. Maryland, the only shirts there to take it. 71st minute of action. We're back to a tie game, and now the extra time procedure is back in play. We will play 15 minutes of extra time if the teams are still tied. If we're still tied after that, after another 15, we'll play penalties. Sanderson, and he's taken down inside the box, it looks like. No foul awarded.
I think that's the right call. It looked like he definitely got all ball. It was just a really good shoulder. Sanderson obviously not happy with it, but...
And understandably so, but with him on a yellow card, he's got to keep his words short.
You don't want to risk any sort of red card whatsoever, especially now that this match just got leveled.
So Gabler restarts play.
I don't know if you saw, but Francis was having some words with one of the linesmen right before that kick.
Angelo Petrucci? Okay. Interesting that Dominic has something to say there and potentially asking about the no offside on Pritchett's goal. Ramirez back for Francis. Yoder, Francis, poked ahead, and it runs long.
Say what you will, though, about Francis as a defender. He's willing to go up and start an attack no matter what he can.
So Dumboya's day is going to be done here, as number 22, Julius Brijbasi, is going to be coming in for the Bobcats, taking him out. Francis running toward the ball after the errant throw-in. Yet another young player on this Bobcats squad, as Yoder keeping control, and here's Brijbasi's first touch and a foul. Got around his defender against the rules, so he will leave the ball off for Alloy SC to retake. 9 shots apiece by our unofficial scoreboard count. 5 saves for the Bobcats, and now the new goalkeeper of record is Chandler Gauntz. Yusuf Mumban is off the hook for the loss.
You gotta wonder how much that's gonna do for Mumban's confidence, though, going forward.
Breach Bassi trying to use his height to get that header. Can't do so. Defender taken to the ground. No call coming, and Yoder can't get in front of that pass. Here comes another Philip Burnett throw. Looking for Dada Ali. Sanderson. Back for Burnett. He runs behind him. Moreno. For Blake. First field substitution for Alex Cow is a midfielder going on for a forward. As Opoku takes it away.
Oh, good cut back.
Derek Ramirez spins, goes back with it. Francis, Breach Bassi, able to at least stop the momentum of the ball. Couldn't keep control, but that's what teammates are for. Foul against Alloy SC, so Maryland has to stop the ball in order to retake. Breach Bassi. For a tall man, he has some moves on him.
He's got some good footwork.
Pritchett cutting inside, pass goes behind, looking for the head of Pritchett for 2, can't get there. And he was just a bit off for that goal kick.
You know that if he's already scored once, you know he wants that second one
so
yes. badly, considering how long he had gone without scoring a goal for this first team.
He has to make up for all of the taken back goals that he had all of last season. He's got to score revenge now.
No better time to do that here in this tournament.
Gabler restarts play quickly. Both teams potentially looking for winners here in the last 15 minutes. Breach Bassi able to dispossess his player but couldn't keep his feet. Potential tackle from Ardeals goes uncalled. Sanderson receives. Burnett cutting away. Draws a defender. Gets back toward the end of the ball. Cuts it inside. Pritchett was taken off of the ball by a defender. Not hard enough for it to be a foul.
I think they were trying to clone the first goal, but Alloy just read it much better than they did that first one.
Pass runs long. Derek Ramirez recovers for the visitors from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. A short drive from here in Boyd's, Maryland. Short drive being, of course, a relative term in the United States, as we are rather a large country. We have a lot of land.
This is also the DC area. You never know how much traffic.
Dominic Francis cuts in, takes a deflection, and Gauntz with a nice save. Yeah, you do that thing here where you live in this area. You measure distance not by miles, but by minutes.
And by how much traffic there is on the highways.
Yes. I know many high traffic cities will do that, where they measure where they measure distance by the number of minutes it will take to get to a certain part. I'm sure people in more congested areas of Pennsylvania than Lancaster understand what we're talking about.
Yeah, Bridge Bassi was very lucky he did not get hit straight in the face. You don't want to have to sub off a sub.
Yes, you don't. And another sub coming on for Alloy SC. Looks to be a sub into the forward core, which as soon as he turns around, I'll be able to tell you who it is. This guy's definitely offside, and the first touch on the ball for Obiazi Chinatu is running way offside. He takes out Frederick Apoku, who had the assist on the lone goal. And Sanderson taken to ground. Looks like the challenge got ball, as worth reminding everyone, Sanderson is on a yellow card, the only one of the match.
Yeah, and Sanderson is not happy that he's not getting any of these calls, because he thinks he's getting fouled, and I would say he's got a good case on a couple of them. Like that last one, he definitely got fouled a bit.
Bridgebasi chests it to himself. Able to get it through Ziders. Kicked away by Bongueli. Off of Chinatu. Gauntz will take.
Chinatu's given Maryland defenders a real headache tonight. He's been really good on the ball. He's just been a massive presence in the box whenever Alloy's had a chance to score.
Pritchett looks like he's going to stay back on this play as a nice tackle takes it away. Alexis Bernard unable to create.
Yeah, and that was just so clean.
My bad, that was 19, not 16, Cameron McDonald. Off the throw-in, cannot get it at the corner flag, so a goal kick here for Gabler. As the seconds tick closer to 90, I don't think either team wants to play longer than the allotted time.
Especially in this heat.
But if we have to, worth reminding everybody at home, 15-minute halves of extra time. Teams are still tied at the end of that. It will be penalty kicks. There must be a winner tonight in the NISA Independent Cup to see who gets to face Nova FC of NISA Nation next week. Kendrick Yoder went down hard off a hip check from Philip Burnett. No call here.
Completely legal.
Pritchett running toward the end of it. And he gets to the end of the ball and foul on Pritchett, although perhaps a stern warning here, as Bongueli is going to be the one called over. Foul was awarded in favor of the men in green tonight. Gabler will step up for a extended goal kick, as it were. Francis. Off his capable left foot. Wanted Butler, couldn't find him. And a call here, who's it last off of? Last off of Maryland. Corner kick coming up. Second of the half here for Alloy SC.
If I remember the last one, it was that really nice volley attempt, but it was from a really not great angle.
And this one runs well over the heads of everybody in the box. Last one to get on it was Eben Bongueli. Couldn't get there. Burnett will have to take the throw in as it went out on the touchline. Final 10 minutes or so of action here from Marine Hendricks Field, at least of the 90 that are scheduled. Dada Ali juggled down to himself. Bridgebasi. Soft touch for Burnett. Back for Moreno. Burnett keeps it, not for long.
Alloy is just completely controlling the pace of play for has been for like the last 3 or 4 minutes. This is not something that Maryland is wanting to do in front of their home fans. They want to give these fans a win.
Nall got it across the field for Ziders. Looking for Yoder. Yoder cuts it to himself. He's surrounded. Burnett takes it away.
I love the idea from Kendrick Yoder, but you need to execute that perfectly, and he was not able to.
Yoder down for Francis. Francis cuts it in. Offside. Would not have mattered for Chinatu.
That was very scary for a second if you were Maryland, considering, I mean, if that was onside, there was the possibility for a penalty kick there. That did not look like as clean of a slide tackle as it could have been.
Gauntz is going to send everybody up in the final 8 minutes of regular time allotted. Does either side have a late winner in their bag? Ziders wins the header, the York, Pennsylvania native running after it. 5-time Dean's List scholar at York College of Pennsylvania.
Both of these teams are playing so compact right now, and as a result, it's not really getting a lot of goals or shots on goal for the most part.
Chinatu. And another throw for Alloy. 82-46 on the count-up clock, heading toward 90.
I mean, if you're Thomas Tumale right now, you've got to be thrilled with how this team is playing against Maryland. This is you're coming from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. It's not much of a short drive, and you're really sticking it to these Bobcats players.
Corner here for Alloy, their third of this half. As it looks like we might have substitutions coming on for the Bobcats. And for Alloy, it looks like. Or potentially they're just heading for water. Well, actually, there's a player down in the midfield.
Bungwelly is down.
Yeah, Bungwelly is down in the center circle.
You're hoping that this is just cramps that he might be having in his legs, because he definitely is limping right now.
Yeah,
he's having to be carried off.
Yeah, he is. So maybe a quick substitution here for Alloy. They may have to. They only brought 2 defensive substitutions, Alex Afata and Caleb Nelson.
You really hope that this is not a more serious injury than a cramp or just a pulled muscle. You really don't want it to be an ACL tear, because that just is not a fun injury to deal with.
I thought we weren't going to play the speculation game, Josh.
Oh, my bad. But this is the key.
Still, you don't want it.
You don't want it, but also this heat. There's always the heightened chance of cramps, so that could be what's going on here.
So I don't know if this is going to affect the strategy here for Alloy on their corner kick that they have upcoming. But they will temporarily play with 10 men as the coaching staff evaluates the severity of the injury to see if they need a substitute. Corner rolls in, headed up, headed out.
Oh, that was a
Real
really
close.
good chance, but I think it hit the wrong part of the head there, and as a result, it probably slid a bit off his head, and it creates this weird deflection effect that did not allow it to go into the back of the net.
Chandler Gauntz stands over and waits. The substitute goalkeeper, as in the 60th minute, the starter Yusuf Mumban was lifted. Didn't look like anything other than potentially a plan for somebody to get more playing time. And Gauntz might be getting himself more than the last 30 minutes if this game stays tied. Burnett, well done to keep the ball in play and not concede possession as easily. Blake runs it down, taken away. Odd man break here for Alloy SC. Run off at the pass by Dada Ali. As a foul called on Luke Nall will give the Bobcats the ball.
Not gonna lie, that kind of looks like it could have been a foul against Ali for grabbing onto.
Yeah,
Nall
that's
for
what
a
I thought
second.
it was going to be at first.
That's what I thought it was going to be. I'm surprised that that's the decision the ref made, and I don't think Nall is all too pleased.
So indeed, they have made a substitution. Bongwelli is out. Afata comes in for Alloy SC. Afata, a defender from Manchester, Pennsylvania. Long pass here. Caleb Pritchett down. Caleb Pritchett on the ball. He scores! The floodgates are open. Caleb Pritchett.
I mean, am I a fortune teller or what? I said he's probably going to get a second one tonight, considering how much he's been attacking the net tonight, and he does it again, and he got it this time on a much cleaner way through a breakaway and was able to squeak it way past Gabler. Look, Gabler's had a really good night tonight. He's just been so unlucky with the 2 goals that have been scored tonight by Pritchett. This has been a long time coming for Pritchett, so you've got to feel happy for him right now, especially you, Mr. Wolpoff.
Yeah, again, having watched this guy for 2 years, I've seen the frustration build. I've seen it build at the professional ranks. He leaves community college and makes his first team debut right away with the Maryland Bobcats. This is somebody who, again, for the last year plus, I've watched play. I know how capable he is of scoring. I've seen him score at other levels than the Bobcats. Man, it's good to see him succeed. I think he might have finally thrown the monkey off the cliff at this point.
Yeah, and now you know his objective is only one thing, and that's that hat trick. And Sanderson, what moves?
So play restarts. Under 2 minutes to go. Caleb Pritchett, the goal scorer, he has two, 68th minute and 87th minute.
Caleb, I don't know if you saw that. He was starting to really press on the gas there and was speeding up really fast. And it's great to see that he has not lost much energy tonight.
Ball will run long for a goal kick. And Chandler Gauntz is going to take a goal kick. So now the Bobcats will be the ones wasting time here. As a sub coming in, it looks like, for Maryland. As it looks like Sanderson is the one coming off. As Sanderson will take the nearest touchline and go out. Alex Shine, the one coming on to replace him, number 17. 1 minute or so to go. Shine the first touch on the ball, puts it back to Burnett. Maryland totally content to play keep away for the final minute plus of this game. They have the lead. Rijbasi for Shine.
They're calling that second goal, by the way. It seems unassisted now.
Well, again, it was initially labeled in our group chat as 7 from the assist, but 7's not in the game anymore. Domboya was taken out earlier, so it couldn't have been him. Blake runs it in. Big shot over the bar. Pritchett wanted 3, and he's not going to get it there.
Under hit that one, and that was the equivalent of if you were to take a golf swing in baseball, in my opinion. I mean, you had the perfect opportunity to put that into the top corner, and it sailed way over. Put too much power in it, too.
Final 15 seconds of regular time. Does Alloy SC have an equalizer? Ramirez running away from pressure. Sending it through. Gets it well beyond any friendly feet. And Gauntz content to wait to pick it up here.
Well, I understand the idea of wanting to get a third goal. I think also it might be smart here to start parking the bus a bit if you want to defend this lead and make sure you have a safe chance of winning this game and sending Alloy back to Lancaster.
Gauntz will roll it. Chinatu will chase, and Gauntz will kick it over his head. We've ended the final 90 minutes. Pritchett got it to a ball, and a nice save made on the shot from Cameron McDonald.
Perfect shot, too. Just unfortunate for him that Gabler was right there.
Afata and Pritchett causing all sorts of troubles.
He just wants that third. You can tell that he just wants that third goal, and he is right now fighting for his life to get it.
5 minutes of extra time have been added on. And we are currently in the first of those. Pass for Shine. Breaking free down the right side. This is where Maryland set up their first goal tonight. In for Brijbasu. And the shot is chunked wide. As it looks like Pritchett goes down on the floor here, and I can understand how he can cramp up here. He's been running around a lot. But Maryland is taking in plenty of time here.
Yeah, but you've got to also wonder how much this delay is going to add more to stoppage.
Well, again, this is the trouble of delaying in stoppage time. The referee has to add the time back.
Yeah.
So to reset, Alloy SC got the first goal in the 54th minute on Luke Nall in the penalty area. Maryland needed about 14 minutes to get back into it. Caleb Pritchett off a rebound in the 6-yard box. Finally got one that he was onside for. As Pritchett looks like he's going to be okay enough to at least walk off the field under his own power.
It's good news. I mean, he's had a fantastic night no matter what. If he gets taken off here, I think he can be happy with the fact that he scored a brace tonight.
He finally got something at the senior team level, which he struggled so mightily for last season, being snake bit by all the offside calls.
You know he's gonna if if this was baseball, I honestly think he would probably be getting the silent treatment once he goes back into the locker room tonight. You know, Coach Kao is so happy for him.
Alloy SC still pushing for a late equalizer. Into the box, Conce lets it run long. It is deflected off the Bobcats, so this will be a corner kick. The fourth of the half, as Maryland will bring on a sub. Or I think that might be just Pritchett returning.
I think that is Pritchett.
All right, my bad. So back to 11 on 11. Not everybody is forward for Alloy SC. They're keeping 3 out of the box, 2 center backs plus the keeper. Right hand goes up. Ball comes in. It's going long. Yoder puts it back across net. Gauntz dives to make the stop.
If he's not there in time, this match is tied, and we're going to extra time. And I don't think anybody wants that at this point.
Unless you're wearing green.
Unless you are in green, yes.
Gauntz with a long throw over the head of Yoder. Shine. Chests it down. Looking for Bridge Bossi on the lob pass. Bridge Bossi overruns it a bit. Alloy SC has 2 players offside. They can't play it. They tag back up as Gauntz gets it. Gauntz may have mishandled that one, but that might have actually been on purpose as he knocked it back to himself deeper in his own end.
That's a smarter move because then he's able to pick up the ball. I think it was out of bounds or just barely, or not out of bounds, but it would have been out of the box.
Entering now the 4th minute of stoppage time out of a minimum of 5. We're roughly entering referee's discretion territory. A throw in for Maryland, trying to waste as much seconds as they can. Blake tosses it long. Alloy takes it away. Yoder. Yoder flicks it on. Blake running after it. He's the first one to get there. Back into the center circle for Shine. Back for Burnett. Burnett will cut to the middle of the field. Looking for Dada Ali. Can Maryland waste enough time to come away with a victory? Shine. Looking to set something up. Pritchett trying to keep his run. And it bounces off of a player. Throw in.
I think he could have gotten a clean cross off there if he maybe kicked it a bit earlier. Didn't take another touch. Probably that extra touch foiled him.
Burnett will run for the throw in. How much more time is Ryan Myers going to allow this game to continue? Looking for Pritchett. Pritchett will go to the corner flag. He's 1 against 2. Ziders wins it. Turned it over. Got it right back. Our deals taken away. Here comes Burnett. Burnett streaking in. Burnett's got some lanes to shoot if he can cut in. He can't as Gabler kicks it high and away.
Don't take that extra step. I mean, you could have had another very interesting shot there if you were able to curl one in.
Bridge Bossi takes it onto his right foot. Bridge Bossi cutting in. Bridge Bossi into the penalty area, goes wide, looking back to his right foot, and he can't keep his balance. We are now in the discretion of the match referee. Is this the last push for the men in green? Francis cuts it in, poked out, and the full-time whistle goes. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Alloy SC. Maryland comes back and wins with 2 unanswered from Caleb Pritchett.
Fantastic game tonight. And look, Alloy put up a fight that I don't think Maryland was expecting whatsoever. But Caleb Pritchett, have yourself a night, sir. You finally are off the schneid. You're finally into the goal-scoring column in Maryland Bobcats FC annals.
Man, I got a feeling Caleb Pritchett's going to be the happiest person going back into that locker room. Again, having watched that man's professional career for most of the time here with the Bobcats, I know how hard he's worked to put that work in. I know, I've seen it, I've felt it with him. I've talked with him on a couple of occasions. And tonight, it's going to be a happy conversation for Caleb Pritchett. Man of the match easily with 2 goals. Chandler Gauntz gets the win in relief. What a contest tonight, Josh.
I'd say Mumban also has a case to make. He made some incredible saves tonight before getting taken out at around the 60th minute.
So on behalf of all of us here with the Maryland Bobcats FC, on behalf of myself and Josh Sager, I'm Max Walpoff. Thank you for joining us here for the NISA Independent Cup. Final score, Bobcats 2.